Deception. Oh boy, man, look at this. This bird's nest. Isn't it cool? So Stephen A. Smith, right? Stephen A. Smith, he picked Golden State to win. Max Kellerman, or however you say his name. He picks, what's up, what's up, what's up? It's gonna be a sweep. I'm with you. I'm with you on that, Ward. I'm with you. But Stephen A. Smith, so he picks Golden State, right? And Max Ellerman or Kellerman or whatever his name is, NBA Finals rigged all day. Max picks the Raptors, and they both pick their team to win in Game 6. If these guys aren't the biggest cheerleaders in the world, these guys, you should hear their arbitrary points that they make. It's so vague. It, listen. I think everybody should be a sports analyst and get paid millions of dollars if these guys are doing it. Now, let me say this: they've been into sports for a long time. They probably have degrees that are in the sports. But when you have people who've been in the sports for a long time, who have degrees in sports, my whole thing is tell me something I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I like it when this is why I don't really listen to them because they don't really say things that I really don't know. Like I can't look at one game and figure out. I can figure out everybody's name. I can write that down, look at the roster. NBA channel gives you all that. You can look and see who shot so many threes, who got a triple double, all that each game. You could look at the average if you really want to get into it. You can look at averages and all that. All the information that they say, the numbers and all that, you can look at after each game. Golden State Warriors is going to win in 6. I'm with you on that. I'm with you. So my whole thing is, tell me something that I don't know. Now, here's here's what gets me about these guys. They flip flop so much. When a team is losing, you don't hear all of these specs that they bring up. But when they start winning, all of a sudden they got, oh, this guy's good, this guy's good, this guy's good. Like, come on, man, get out of here. You guys thought just like I did. You thought the Bucks were gonna beat the Raptors. Then all of a sudden, good old Six God came out and started doing his thing and really got on the Bucks' nerves. And when they put that in the news, even I realized that it was over for the Bucks. I was like, it's over. Because that's what it's really all about. It's all about the ratings. And the Six God make the ratings go up because the Bucks was talking about him in the news. I'm like, get out of here. Get out of here. But when it comes to raw talent, listen, I just don't think Kawhi Leonard, Ibaka, and whoever else they got on their team, I just don't think that they're. Look, those guys to me are not a 3 point shooting team. If you really want to bring up the numbers and look at the facts, if we really just get into the facts of it all, even without KD, if you really get into the facts of it all, there's no team out there that's going to beat them in 7. It's just not going to happen. So I say, look, you guys are like, it's going to be a sweep. Listen, I want to give the Raptors at least one or two. Yeah, NBA Finals all day. I want to give the Raptors at least one. I want to try to. But here's what I'm thinking. Are the Raptors better than Cleveland was in 2000 what? 16? Are the Raptors better than 2016 Cleveland? Would you take 2016 Cleveland over the Raptors today? Who would you take? Who you got? Ah, 2017. Let's go 2017. Let's go even 2017 when Cleveland went and lost. When Cleveland lost, would you take 2017 Cleveland over, 2019 Raptors? None of you would take the Raptors. None of you. None of you would take the Raptors today. That's right. You would take the Cavs hands down. And look what they did to the Cavs. They destroyed them. Now, some people like KD's not going to play in the first game. Man, listen. KD's such a mystery because we don't know what happened to him. I bring this up all the time. KD can come up off that bench. He can come out of the crowd. He can just show. He can. Man, if KD comes out dressed and just sits on the bench for the first quarter, it's gonna look. It's gonna turn all that hype. Even Max Ellerman said so. He was like, with KD on the team, it's just uneven. He even admitted it. It's like it's just uneven. All KD do gotta come out and just sit and start looking at them, and it's gonna be over. Yeah, it's gonna be over. That's all KD. That's all he gotta do is come out and just look at them, and them boys gonna catch fright. I'm just saying, man. When it comes to comparing teams, hey, may the best team win. And Golden State, right? Right. That's what I'm talking about, Lakeisha. Go. How you doing? It just listen, listen. Okay, so you guys, okay, let's do a 7 game. Let's do a 7 game hypothesis and possibility of the Raptors actually taking it. For one, why? Why would the NBA let the Raptors take it? That's just a big question. If somebody can give me a sound reason, other than they've been trying for 24 years, a sound reason why the NBA would let another country beat them, then I look, I want to hear it. I'd love to hear it. So we'll just put that out there for you guys. Now, now let's just look at let's just look at let's just look at the fact that we know Kawhi Leonard isn't going to stay. He's not going to stay. He's going to dip. We know this. Explain the NBA. This will be a great way to send the message. What do you mean? Explain it. Explain the NBA. The way I look at the NBA. Explain the NBA's internationally. Okay. Well, for one, you're talking to somebody who doesn't watch the games. All right. But the way I see the NBA, okay, when I grew up, all right, and I'm not going to make this super long winded. When I grew up watching the NBA, I was not really a fan, but I was always a fan of athleticism. So I wanted to see Clyde the Glide Dressler. I wanted to see, uh, Kareem Abdul. I wanted to see hey, what's going on, Tammy? How you doing? Shane and Dora, how are you? Yeah, how you doing today? So I wanted to see the, Fab Five, and I wanted to see their athleticism. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see Dr. J do all that other stuff. Now, I was even in a movie called The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. It was a basketball movie. Look it up. But nonetheless, internationally, I'll read your comment in just a second. Internationally, when I look at the NBA, that's when they go world champions, I'm like, you guys don't play the world. But when they go world champions, when I look at it, I go, you guys don't play the world until the Olympics. When the Olympics comes around, you guys play people all over the world. And in the Olympics, when they had Jordan and Pippen and all those superstars were playing, they got spanked. They got beat. And they got beat, like I said, by Lithuania, whoever, some squad country that, you know, whatever country, small country, beat them. And they beat them because we hyped these players up to play individually. We don't hype them up to play as a team. This is why I thought the Bucks was going to pull one out. I was like, okay, Bucks playing like a team. Now, internationally, I don't think that America would constantly be number one. I just don't. America has a lot of disadvantages. For one, we are a melting pot of different people. We got people from every country in America representing America. Those other countries got just those people who are from that country. You know what I'm saying? So Asian people don't have black people playing on them. Only European countries do because they invaded everyone. But only European countries will show up with, black people from France and, just a mix Asian people swimming for us and all this other stuff, and they're American. And this is America. To me, it's just unfair. So that's the way I look at all sports when it comes to internationally. We have the unfair advantage. This is why we win most of the time, especially in track and field. But in basketball, I just don't think that our style of playing, the way we hype all these players up, nah, that prima donna-ness, it got exposed. When Jordan was playing, the best we have got exposed. So that's the way I look at it internationally. And you know what? Truthfully, I'm never gonna sit down and watch a whole game, but I would like to see other teams from other countries come in and actually compete for the world champion. I'm with that 100%. I'm reading some of your comments. Yeah, Tammy's in the house. They're talking about next year free agency more than the finals clue right there. Right, right. It's like bypassing everything else. Uh, you're just something you don't know too much about. Well, that's the way you do it, Tammy. Hang around, and learn. Well, guys, you guys are professional. Well, that's where you're wrong. Hey, what's going on? Let's chat later. Well, that's where you're wrong because I admit every time I talk about sports that I am not a professional. Uh, the media keep hyping up the international rappers and Toronto's when will open up will open up the door for a future. Well, let me say this. Okay, well, let's examine that. Let's examine that. Okay, let's examine that. For one, the football league has is trying to do the same thing. They go to Mexico and Europe to play now. So they're trying to infiltrate other nationalities and other countries into the sports. This is so they can say world champion. You know what I'm saying? And it means something. The only people that can say world champion is when you're playing in the Olympics, and or if you're playing soccer. Soccer plays everyone. It just is what it is. They play everyone. So when they go world champion, World Cup, I'm like, okay, they played every country and narrowed it all down. Okay, boom. But when we say world champion in NBA basketball, it's just so. Is it okay if the Raptors win? Will that open up a chance for international teams? I'm gonna tell you something. Not so much, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because one, Canada is right across the bridge. What, Detroit or something like that? It's right across the bridge. It's not far from here. That's for one. For two, what color is everyone on the starting five of Canada's team? But what is the major nationality of Canada? Okay, so it's still it's still you're using the black people. You know what I'm saying? Mostly, you just ship them across the bridge. It's still an American team, if you ask me. That is a whole different flavor than getting somebody from than getting playing a team from Russia, like playing a Russian team, Russian speaking team, like straight up. The people who are playing for Canada, those people are not from Canada. They don't speak a lick of French. They're all American. So that's just an extended American team to me. So that to me that doesn't break the bridge. It just it just doesn't. It doesn't crack the whole now we're international. You guys been at it for 24 years. You you're not no, you're not breaking some type of barrier because you're from Canada and all you do is ship people. Heck, all of their homes, where do all of those guys who play for Canada live? They live in America. So nah, bruh. It just Kawhi Leonard doesn't live in Canada. He lives in America. So nah, we not doing that, bro. That doesn't that's not breaking a barrier. All that is an extended American team. When I see China and we balling out of control against China, you know what I'm saying? Like they need an interpreter referee when we get that going on. When we got two different referees out there, each one of them, one speaks the American language or English, the other one speaks the foreign language, and we getting it on like that. Yeah, yeah. Now we're international. Other than that, nah, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? When you see you know what I'm saying? When you see a whole crew of people who are, they're not American. They don't live here. Their culture's not from here. The only thing they know about us is what they see on TV. Then yeah, get out of here. The international movement has begun already. Let's say Toronto win now. Well, see that the inter. Let's see, Toronto winning is not helping the international movement. That's not it. The Germans winning is helping the international movement. I'm talking about purebloods. I'm talking about V Gates. V Gates is Seaman. Was magst du? Entschuldigen Sie bitte. Wie verlor ist das? Wie viel? Wie viel van Furnish mit Arbeiten? I'm talking about coming in like that. you know, give me some of that. Truce, Mensch, truce. You know what I'm saying? And surely again, give me some of that. Braun or MJ? MJ. MJ all day. Uh, when you give me some of that right there, and they don't come in, they speak, even though Germans speak English, it's their second language, but nonetheless, they're comfortable speaking their own language. When you get some of them goose steppers coming on in here, then you holler at me talking about some international other than. And you know what? They play ball heavy in Germany, but the thing about it is, most of the time, you'll see it's American soldiers who you'll see play. There are other leagues around the world. Basketball is not a sports that's just ours. It's a sports that's okay, bro. It oh you want some of these hands? You gonna catch these hands? It's a league that's I mean there are leagues all over the place. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, the league that pays the most money is the NBA, and they have these supermen and all this other stuff. It's just such an unfair balance because of all these millions of dollars that are poured into the NBA really doesn't illustrate that they're better than other teams from other countries. It really doesn't. You know what I'm saying? They're not better just because they get paid more. You know what I'm saying? These ridiculous contracts they got 130 million, 200 209 million, 210 million contract for the next 4 years, 54 million for 2 years. Nah. Adam Silver can say our first Canadian team won the door for more. Let me me say this: if the Raptors win, are they going to tout more international? Uh, are they going to try to, you know, perpetuate more international teams to join the National Basketball League Association? The answer is absolutely. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. If I was Switzerland and I looked at the national basketball team and I was like, for one, are you coming to Europe? Or are we coming over there? How many games are we going to play? Because you play against the normal season, the regular season, you play against a team twice. You play against them twice. Now, that's just with the East and with the West. Now what's it going to be? See, here's what I'm saying. If they're gonna push this, then they have to have a different structure to the way things are. You just can't have it the way it is because right now it's East versus West. In this continent. If you're going to do that, now you got to open those doors, and you can't say, well, East Germany versus, West of Asia. You know what I'm saying? There's got to be a whole superstructure set up for that, and and then you can't do it on the fly because it's going to turn into a mess and people are going to be uninterested. Not only that, you got to understand the science in it. There's a science to marketing. You look at the science in it. It's harder than what you think. And the reason why is because the science and the attention span of your major crowd, uh, the market that you're going after, uh, the soccer moms, because if you can get the mom and you can get the dad, you can get the kids. The time slot that you're talking about. So, you have Eastern time, Western time, but when you start jumping into other continents, what you got over there? You're going to be playing basketball. It's not going to air until the next day. But if it's airing live, it's going to be 2 o'clock in the morning. Who's going to watch that? You're only going to have half the continent able, not even that, able to watch that. And if that happens, guess who's going to lose a lot of revenue? See, they're not into losing revenue. The only reason why they're going to do anything like that is so they can gain more revenue. So if they can push more ads, let's just say they do get a country. Let's just say they get let's just say they do get Germany because Germany, loves the sport. Let's just say they do get Germany and you're playing on German's time. Now you're pushing your products because that's where you're making the money. Now you're pushing your products, your the products that you see during uh, during the games. When the games are viewed, the products that you see during the games, those products are going to have the German language. You're gonna have those barriers to cross because you're gonna be looking at German products and you're gonna go, but we don't even eat Wiener Schnitzel. What's a foam starter? I don't know what a foam starter is. Do you know what a foam starter? That's what the crowd is going to be saying. And only and like I said, there's gonna be a learning. You're going to lose people because they're gonna be like, I don't eat borscht. I don't eat borscht. Why are we pitching, borscht? I don't eat it. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what borscht is. It's a sausage it's a blood sausage that the Russians eat. But that's what I'm saying. It's not something that you can just push out there and then it's done. You have the whole marketing science behind it. And when you do this, you're marketing, listen, you're marketing to the people who live in that country and you're marketing to us at the same time. So like I said, it's a science. The money that you're using, let's just take a round figure, $1 million, which is nothing to the marketing world. I got a marketing promotion job coming up on the 6th. You know what I'm saying? Just for Nissan. And I'll just be standing there handing out information. People will come into the area, look at the car, ask about the car, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? They'll probably do that one marketing job that I'm doing, that one marketing job, and eight, nine, 10 other places just on one coast. You see what I mean? So you can eat up $1 million real quick. The cost of the cars, the cost of the BAs, the cost of the management, the cost of getting everything there. That's you can eat right through $1 million. You can just eat right through it easily. But your projection is like, okay, I'm not going to spend $1 million if I can't make two. Now that's just like I said, if you're looking at $1 million, that's a very small market. That's just we're talking about, you starting off 50, $100 million. I'm gonna go ahead and push Pepsi. We know Pepsi's huge, but if you can, for one, and Pepsi is sold in these other countries, but the marketing scheme for Pepsi to not, and even if it is sold in these other countries, which it is, Pepsi is sold in those other countries because a lot of those other countries are Americanized. However, where that drink is sold at is where Americans are. You see what I mean? American soldiers go to certain pubs and they're on certain places. You will see familiar names that are Americanized. But when you have when you go out into into West Germany, deep West Germany, and stuff like that, you think they got Pepsis out there, but in abundance? No, they don't. They might be able to stumble across a couple cases, but it's not going to be like if there were American soldiers there. And once you start pitching a sport and saying, "Hey, we want you guys to join us," you're not just talking to one part of the country. You're talking to the whole of that country. And if you're talking to the whole of that country, that is a whole different animal of marketing. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, when you open up the international door, they're not looking to lose money. They're looking to gain that dollar, even if it's a penny a person. If they can spend a quarter of a cent and get back 75% of that cent, then they'll do it. They're like, absolutely. If I can spend a quarter and get back 75 cents, you know what I'm saying? That's a cash cow right there. That's just simple business. That's a cash cow. Once it reaches maturation, all your costs, all of your fixed costs and everything. We're talking about taxes and everything. If I'm getting 75 cents on the dollar, absolutely, that's a win-win. But you're going to have to spend millions of dollars to find out if you can do that. And this is why I don't think that they'll jump into that just this quick. Going to Canada is not a far trip. The people who we're playing against are Americans. They're not speaking French. Kawhi Leonard probably knows 5 words of French, and two of them are wee wee. I'm just saying. These guys are not learning French and then go and play for Canada. That's not what they're doing. So it's just a whole different animal. I'm just saying, Ward, it's a whole different animal to go to a whole nother and constantly. I'm not talking about for the Olympics. I'm talking about a constant present, a whole league. For one, you're not going to have 82 games. Let's just get that out there. It's whoever it is that's watching it. So look at soccer. Soccer is the biggest sport that there is, and it's international. Everybody plays it. Where's America at when it comes to soccer? Where we at? When's the last time America won a World Cup? I think that's what they're called. Anybody know? Has America ever won the World Cup in soccer? My guess is going to be a big fat nada. You know what I'm saying? Nah, yeah, England, France, you know, Mexico. That's what I'm saying. Mexico, you know what I'm saying? Got all those guys winning it. But let's just look at the structure of soccer for what little I know, because somebody can step in and correct me, and I am completely okay with that. Look at the structure of soccer. How many games do they play? I really don't know. How many times do they play against a different team? Do they play once a year? Do they play? Okay, how long is the season? Do they play against? Does one team play against that other team once? Do they have a rematch? How does that go? You know what I'm saying? So when you look at the structure of soccer, for one, the structure of soccer is completely different than the structure of basketball. Because, like I said, it's just East and West on the same continent. All you did was say, hey, we need another team. Why not reach out to, Canada, since we're pretty much there, and invite them into the West? They'll probably do the same thing to Mexico and say, okay, Mexico's right across the bridge. We can invite them into, they would be part of the West. I mean, Canada into the East. But so what? If coming in through Texas, that's would that be West? I don't know. Would that be West Coast? Nonetheless, so when you look at the structures of the two sports, in order for the NBA to go ahead and become international like that, it would have to become somewhat like it would have to become somewhat like any international sport, but still be holding to the formula of East and West on the continent. I don't know how they're going to do that. Any team that comes in, you just arbitrarily say one is East and one's West. I guess you could do that. Every time you add a country, though, every time you add a country, you add two games. Every time. Every time you add a country, you add two games. So every team that you add, let's just say that you add five countries. You just added 10 games. So you got to, so you have to, you have a season. So you have to be in keeping with the season, right? So I don't know how long the season is, but I know it's 82 games. Now you just added, five countries. So now you're up to 92 games. Now you're up to 92 games. And now at 92 games, look, I'm not Adam Silver. I'm just saying, I think that's the only possible way of doing it is randomly saying one team is West, one team is East, and then adding, scheduling them to come in. But see, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work. But let me say this: I got I got Golden State tonight. I I don't think the Raptors have a chance. You know, I don't mind being surprised. If I lose, what I lose $35. Somebody bet me yesterday. That's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? If I lose $35 on it, you know. But listen, not only that, I don't think they have a ghost of a chance. I mean, let's just be for real and be Ferroni. Not only do I think they don't have a chance, I don't think they got a ghost of a chance. I wouldn't be surprised if Kawhi gets hurt. Not only that, and you know why that is. You know why that is. Because you know what's going to happen? Kawhi's going to have the LeBron effect. What did our boy Bron do? What did Bron Breezy do after JR took the ball and ran the wrong way? It's J.R. Smith. He's running the wrong way. J.R. Smith doesn't know what planet he's on. It's J.R. Smith is going out for track and field. It's J.R. Smith. He thinks he's playing football. Come back, J.R. Smith. Come back. It's J.R. Smith running towards the end zone, the wrong end zone. Hey. So what happened? So what happened to Bron Breezy once J.R. Smith ran the wrong way? Bron, Bron looked like a hurt lover. He, he, he had his hands up. Like he was like, "Why did you cheat on me? Why? Why did you cheat on me?" He was so betrayed. Why, Savannah? Why did you cheat on me? How? I go to the store, I come back, somebody else is here. Oh, he looked like a gilded lover, didn't he? He was just standing there like, why, Jr. Oh, it was just too good, man. Oh, it was just too good. Nonetheless, so we saw what happened. And LeBron ain't the first one that happens to. We've seen teams do this before, or teammates do this before, where they just completely give up. You know who else we saw it with? We saw it with Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl against the Legion of Boom, against the Denver Broncos, when they were smashing him so hard that Roundtree didn't even want to catch the ball. And and Peyton had to ask his teammates. He was like, "What, you guys don't want to play anymore? This is the Super Bowl." When they beat him like 48-3, he was asking them, "You guys don't want to play no more?" They all gave up because the Legion of Boom was that was it, cleaning their clock. So we've seen this before. Now, Kawhi Leonard can't be trusted. He can't be. Ever since I saw what he did last year, people, when Max Ellerman talking about he's the greatest player, I'm like, you will never be the greatest player if you quit on your team to me. Never. If your team doesn't know what's wrong with you, they cater to you, they do everything for you to come back and help them win, and you simply sit out, you will never be the greatest anything to me. I don't care how good he can shoot. He will never get my vote for being the greatest player. It's just not going to happen. But, I'm not really a customer. Nonetheless, so I think the LeBron effect is gonna get him. I think what Kawhi is gonna do is once he comes up against that playoff, that championship monster that is Golden State, once he gets a whiff of the step back 25 footer that Steph Curry is going to put on him, once he sees Clay and Green hitting him from outside the key, and he realizes that every single person on their squad, even the guys who sit the bench, can bust a three down at any given Sunday. When they finally get that in their system and drink that in, you're going to see Kawhi Leonard go, what do I make? 200 some odd million? Yeah, I'm going to go sit down. You're going to see it. If they don't beat them by game three, Kawhi Leonard's going to get hurt in game four. And that's just a fact. If they don't get one on them by game three, Kawhi Leonard's going to sit down in game four. Just like LeBron did. LeBron was finished after JR took the ball and went home. He was finished. There was no love in him for Cleveland. He was like, you know what? Cleveland, I gave y'all a championship. And this is how you repay me? I 500 million a year from here. That's how much the city makes off of me. They tore down the flats and rebuilt them because I gave you this. I'm leaving. That's just that. And Cleveland can't say jack. Cleveland can't talk about how LeBron abandoned them. They can't say nothing because they wouldn't have never been where he's at where they're at if it wasn't for him. So Kawhi Leonard has no allegiance to anyone except his family. He has no allegiance to the Raptors. He has no allegiance to anyone. No one. Yeah, you too, man. Thanks for stopping by. Kawhi has no allegiance. And because he has no allegiance, this is what makes him highly dangerous. Look, he can be the best player there is this year. He can be the best player there is, period. Not going to make a difference because he's not going to stick around. Once he gets a whiff of, I don't want to be around you, I think the grass is greener in Seattle. I'm going to go play for the Supersonics. I'm going to play for the Supersonics. Heck, Denver could have put it down. I think I'm going to go play for them. I like the fact that they're in playoff contention. You think he's not going to go to another playoff contending team? You think he's not? Be like, you know what, Denver? Where's AD going? Shoot, is AD going to stay with the Pelicans? Shoot, I think I might win one with AD. The Celtics ain't that bad. Shoot. Let me go talk to Terry Rozier. He fool around and go and look. He fool around and go to the Pacers just to stay in the East and shine. Pacers go to the playoffs every season. Tell me he wouldn't be the superstar on the Pacers. Who they got on the Pacers? You mean to tell me that he couldn't go to the Pacers and shine and possibly win one and or win one? Man. And then pull somebody else? Yes, he could. Absolutely. He's not going to go to a losing team. He's not going to go to the Knicks. Kawhi is not the person to build a team. He's not LeBron. He's not a team builder. That's not what he is. He's an emphasizer. He's KD. He puts emphasis on your team. He is. He's an emphasizer. He's not a team builder. KD is not a team builder. He's not with Golden State to build a team. That's not what he's there for because the team was already built before KD got there. That's why they still winning without him. That's what Kawhi Leonard is. He's an emphasizer. Look, what did the Raptors do last year? They was in the number one spot for a minute. They was in the number one spot and got swept by Cleveland. You think he went there to because it was a losing squad? No, because he thought he had a chance. And look at him now. He's in the championship. That's what Kawhi is. If he thinks that team doesn't have a chance to at least go into the play deep into the playoffs, we're not talking first round Pacers, all the time. Because they usually hit the first round bounce. We're talking about possible second round. Listen, the Pacers don't come up against Cleveland in 2016. They're going into the second round. They came across the monster, though. And what happened? Boom, gone. Celtics was next. Boom, gone. I'm saying you put a Kawhi Leonard keep him in the East, and you look at the teams in the East, and him being an emphasis to an already playoff team. You put Kawhi Leonard on the Sixers, and you tell me the Sixers ain't going to win a championship with KD being out. Bro, that's a championship team. That's a championship team right there. Now that they done got their feet wet, now that they realize, what it is, cut out all that goofiness, Embiid, chasing, Instagram models, and get down to business. Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah. That's a championship team if Kawhi was on the Sixers. That's it. That's it. If Kawhi went, look, yeah, to me, there's three teams. If Kawhi went to the Celtics, you're already looking at the Celtics going deep into the playoffs, possible win. If Kawhi went to the Sixers, or if he stayed where he's at with the Raptors, that's all instant championship possibility. Instant. Anyway, so that's just my 2 cents on it. For all it's worth, you know, it's just what I think. But for game 1, I'm riding with Golden State, man. I just, I can't see those guys stopping the long bomb. I can't see it. I just can't. The only way they're gonna do it is if they hurt him. Yeah, yeah. There you go. If they hurt him in like game 2, if Curry goes down in game 2, it's over. And if KD stays out and Curry goes down, now we're talking about a series. I might concede on that one. Might be like, okay, Raptors. Still, I just don't see why somebody would give it to the. I don't see why the basketball league would give it to them. But yeah, if Curry goes down, KD stays out. You know the drill. But if Curry goes down and KD comes in all of a sudden, he gonna hit 50 points. Done deal. Here's what it is. So game one. Here's the way I think it's gonna go. I'm gonna be generous and give the Raptors one. So game one and two. All right. So here's what I do. Game one. Yeah, be at ease. Sure they will. I mean, good luck to them. But I'm gonna go game one. I'm gonna give it to Golden State. Game two. Game two. I give it to the Raptors. Game two, right? I give it to the Raptors. Game three, four, and five. It's over. Oh, thanks a lot. What's going on, Miguel? I'm hanging in there, brother. I hit the gym today. Shoot, man, I was gonna go swimming, but all the lanes were full. They had kids in there. The swim team was in there. It's just too much. I was gonna soak my legs because I walked 3 miles yesterday. I just got up and just said, I'm gonna go for a walk. I just kept walking. I walked over 3 miles actually, but yeah, shoot, my legs sore in the mud, especially my knees. But I went and did some upper body, hit the bench press. There was some guy in there. There was some guy in there bench pressing, right? You know, as soon as when people see me, they get intimidated because I'm not a small person. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm like, for one, I'm not your competition. I'm in my 50s. I'm not competing with nobody. Whatever it is you think that I want, I don't. I'm good. So, you know what I'm saying? I got bad, bad, bad knees. I'm not competing with, I don't care who she is. I don't care. I'm not doing it, bro. It's all you. Knock yourself out, homie. So, he puts one, two, three. He got like 4 plates on there and a 25. I mean, he's got monster weight on there. He's got these two dudes who isn't lifting as much as he is. You know, whenever he's ready, you know. And I'm looking at him, I'm going, okay, he's a sizable person, but he's got some serious. That's 405. That's 450. That's 455. I think it is. Let's see, 50, 45. Yeah, 455. I'm like, get it, because I've never lifted that much. I never will even. So then he gets up under it, picks it up, and then they slip these two by fours, like no lie, wood glued together to add a space of like of like this much, and puts it on his chest. So when he benches it, it comes down, hits the 2 by 4, and he bounces it off the 2 by 4, and he's lifting it. And I was like, bro, you can't go to no regular gym and do that and then act like you really just did something. Now, I give it to you. I can't even get 455 off the rack. I can't. I don't even. I wouldn't even try that. That's my life right there. That weight's gonna come down. I'm done. I wouldn't even do that. Then, hey, you a strong person. I'm a strong person, but I'm not that strong. Uh, but I was like, nah, bro. I can't even get that off the rack. So I'm like, big ups there, and then get the little boom. I was like, but you cheating though. And then he takes that off, throws a whole 45 plate on each side. So he's got 5 plates on there. I saw him with them 5 plates. I was like, what you gonna do about that? Same thing. Lifts it up, has the 2 by 4s, and I'm like, man, I've never seen nobody do that in my life. Why do I have the Warriors? Just logical, man. It just, listen. I just don't think the Raptors can beat them. Yeah, it's just logical to me. Big Tone, you know you can bench 500. Stop playing. I can't bench 500. Don't worry, man. You got a beautiful mind, one of a kind. Well, thanks. Yeah, no, I can't bench 500. I can the most I think I can probably the most I think I can bench. But see, the way I bench is bring it all the way down, boom, press. The most I can bench, if I really worked at it, like might be 375, and that's if I really went at it, start concentrating on. I don't really care. I don't lift for the I don't lift to gain strength anymore. I lift to keep it. So you know, I don't eat for it. My diet isn't that big. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I go to bed without eating dinner, so I'm never gonna be that dude. Those guys are putting away mad calories. I go to bed hungry sometimes, and I have food. So I just don't have the zeal to be in the gym like that. Yeah, I don't have the zeal to count calories and all that. I can put up 315 twice. I'm okay with that. Yeah, yeah, and I agree. But I don't want to do that. For one, it costs a lot, and I don't have the money to keep up that type of appetite. You know what I'm saying? That costs a lot. You know what I'm saying? That type of eating, that type of living, that's a heavy cost. Food is not cheap, especially if you're getting food like that. Nah, bro, that's a heavy cost. But yeah, it's just logical for me to pick Golden State tonight. I got Golden State winning in. I said game six, game 5 or 6. I don't think it really matters. I think Golden State's just gonna win. And we had hope for a couple teams. Golden State wiped them out. You are a smart, beautiful man, but Toronto will win tonight. Okay, weren't you the one that bet me $35? Yeah, that was you. You bet me $35, didn't you, Miguel? I have the theory that LeBron doesn't always. I'm gonna say doesn't doesn't always listen. Okay, to what he's told by the elites, therefore costing him finals. Well, see, now you're touching on something that Michael Jordan did. He paid the cost for it. This was the conspiracy theory that was going around when he lost his father. I want to say this about LBJ. I think he listens just enough. I think he knows who's in control. Yeah, I think LeBron knows who's in control. He's not stupid. He's not ignorant. He knows what's being handed to him, and he knows how to play the game. He's not a sucker. He's a survivor, and he's been poor before. What up, Vic? Nobody over here is crazy. I'm not crazy. So I think he does what he has to do to keep the money coming in, and he's cool with it. He loses when he loses, and he's that's it. Yeah, but he been a choke artist. LeBron been look how many times has he been a choke artist? win the championship, and we were like, "What?" This dude started walking around like he didn't even know what planet he was on. The better team does not win. There is no conspiracy. The better team does not win, and we saw that in 2016. And if you did, you need to go back and look at the tapes. You need to you need to call Aisha Curry. And, yeah, you got 35 on Raptors. You need to talk to Aisha Curry and see what she says about that. I guarantee you, Aisha Curry will tell you something different. Aisha Curry will tell you different. She'll give you a whole mouthful while she's feeding you with that old crazy food she makes for, unethnic people. Talking about she needs some attention from other men. Better cut that out. You're married and chubby. Right. Yeah, sports are rigged. 100% rigged. What suspensions? What suspension you talking about, bro? Who's suspended? Who's suspended? I get what you're saying, Big Toe, but I feel like Braun cares too much and ain't crooked. Look, LeBron is as crooked as a question mark. You're fooling yourself if you think he's not. I bet they're talking about Draymond Green. Oh yeah. Well, as far as I know, Draymond Green is playing, so I don't know about all that suspension stuff. You think LeBron? Look, anybody who is in the game that deep is crooked. People don't understand the dynamics of the ring and tone. I see that. Yeah, LeBron is the okay. Let me say this. When you talk about people being crooked, you mean people being on the take. You mean people catering to what the 1% say, to what the 1% say. I think that's what you're talking about. People being guided by the massa, or all that stuff. It, man, listen. LeBron doesn't make the gold. LeBron is not making gold. Whoever has the gold makes the rules, and that's it, and that's all. Yeah, he's as crooked as a question mark. Keep it PG, bro. He don't make the gold, and that's just it, and that's all. None of those guys do. I don't care how many millions you put in their hand. If they're not making their own money, then and they're making money like that. Yeah, they were. Look. These guys' athleticism is not in question. LeBron's athleticism is not in question. I mean, he's ridiculous. How do you go this long without getting a major injury? I mean, it's ridiculous what LeBron has been able to do. And then use up all of that energy year after year after year. And then finally, at 34, almost 35 years old, be like, you know what? I'm going to sit out a season. Or I'm going to get, I got this groin injury. I'm going to go ahead and chillax. You guys go ahead, let whoever else shines. Come on now. Right. Yeah. No, he's a family man, and all the nothing deeper than that, bro. Listen, man. You say he a family man all day. Yeah, he a family man. But that's not what we talking about. We not talking about who has a family and who's doing what with their family. We talking about we talking about who's on the take, who knows that it's rigged, who's what I'm saying. LeBron knows that it's rigged. LeBron, he knew, man, that dude knew that it was rigged. He knew that if his squad, he knew. Listen, I even made a video uh, about LeBron saying he's gonna go out there and try his best, and he's gonna like the results. And that next, when I heard him say that, I was like, he's gonna win the championship. And what did they do? They won. Well, see, I don't know enough about his investigations. I know about his allegations of cheating, but to me, as far as I know, he seems like a family man. Whether he cheats on Savannah or not, but I put it to you like this: just like those women told Steph Curry's wife, you know what you signed up for. Yeah, I mean they jumped all in Aisha Curry's car. These women, jumped all in her car. She was like, no, this is not okay. And they was like, you know what you signed up for. Women are vicious. Still waiting for your finals winner, Vic. Tell them your winner, Vic. Yeah, these women are vicious. They throwing the box at Steph Curry right in front of Aisha. You know why? You know why? Because Aisha had them three babies. She got them three babies. That body ain't what it used to be. Look, look, look. Beyonce had three babies. You can't tell. Beyonce had them three babies. Your winner's classified. She had them three babies, and you can't even tell. Steph Curry's wife got them three babies. She looked like she got three babies. So you think some young, firm, and fully packed ain't gonna look at stuff like, look at your wife, and then look at this six pack. Look at this, hey, Steph. Look at your wife, and then look at this 8 pack I got. Huh? Look at your wife, and then look at pictures of me on Instagram. You think that ain't happening? Shoot. Steph Curry's inbox is all blown up. All blown up. If I was Steph, I would just have my wife manage my inbox. I would. Or one of her assistants or whatever. Wait a minute. For one, I told you who I thought was going to win. And I told you why. You looking for investigative evidence. Yeah, Aisha. That's because Aisha was acting like she was looking for some more attention from men. I'm like, Aisha, you're a millionaire, and you cute as a button. Yeah, she cute as a button. I thought she was otherworldly when I first looked at her. I was like, how did God make something that doggone good looking? I was just, I don't blame Steph for marrying her and putting three in her. She is greedy. She should have never said that. She don't get attention from men. She should have never said that. But yeah, I don't blame Steph for putting three in her. I would have, promise you, I would have. I'd have been like, I'm about to put some babies in you. Yeah, well, thank you very much. But that woman is that woman is her beauty is on some whole is on a whole nother level. She reminds me of Vanessa Williams when Vanessa Williams was coming up, the model Vanessa Williams. I thought the model Vanessa Williams when she was keep it PG. Uh, I thought the model Vanessa Williams when I first saw her, I couldn't understand how a woman can look that good. It's just ridiculous. Her, Karen White, sure Pepsi Rally, you know what I'm saying? But the model Vanessa Williams was ridiculous. And then she started taking nude photos, and that was it for her career. She was Miss America, and they took her crown for that. She wanted to run it. She wanted the check. She wanted the money. She's still good looking. She's ridiculously beautiful. But all that beauty doesn't mean that doesn't make you happy. She got married, got divorced. Yeah. Well, you said you wanted proof. You can go and look at. I mean, if you really want proof, you can find out for yourself. Go look at Doherty. He was a referee. He told people that the games are rigged. The referee of the NBA told people that the games were rigged. Well, he's Rick Fox. Rick Fox. Rick Fox is, I mean, he played for the Lakers in their heyday. He all light skinned and taller than me. I can't compete with Rick Fox. Dude, listen, not one of those NBA wives would look at me twice. Not once. I'm not rich. I'm not crazy good looking like Rick Fox. They wouldn't look at me twice. In my heyday, I wouldn't get looked at twice. Now, if I was playing ball, yeah, one of them would set me up, have a kid with me, and divorce me. Sure, they would, and then cheat on me with Rick Fox. Absolutely, they would do that. Yeah, absolutely. If I was a ball player, absolutely one would marry me just to have a baby with me, cheat on me with Rick Fox, and then talk about I abused them, and then cost me millions of dollars in divorce, and then have me pay child support and all this. Sure, they would set me up and do that to me. Yeah, that happens to anybody. Yeah, that happens to anybody. Miguel, I'm gonna tell you one more time. Yeah, I'm chill, but he's Rick Fox. Listen, there's just some people who got it, and then there's us. Yeah, you know what happened? She'll cheat on me with Rick Fox in the back of an alley somewhere, bent over a garbage can. She'll do it. She'll do it all day, right after practice, sweaty and everything, like no respect for me. Be waiting for him. Yeah, they do stuff like that. They do. They don't care. And then say it was my fault. I pushed her away because you know I didn't like one of the cookies she baked or some old nonsense. And then some lawyer would come and be like, it's $1,000 an hour. You know, oh, well, that's cool. It's $1,000 an hour. It's gonna cost you, 10 million. That's just to us in divorce, and you're gonna end up paying her about 30 million. So let's just go ahead and get this ball rolling. And you're sitting in court getting reamed. Your kid's gone. Your wife is, in an alley with Rick Fox and his friends. And then you lose your contract because you can't even concentrate on playing ball anymore. You lose your contract, and then people forget about you. You're like the guy who was in fifth place in the Olympic finals. I don't even know who it was. And they just dip out on you like you know. Then you're paying all this ridiculous amount of money. You don't have the contracts anymore. Then you go into the rears. Then the judges come after you because you're no longer paying. What was it, 50? What was Nas was paying Khalees $50,000 in child support. $50,000. What's going on in child support? 50,000 a month in child support. Just wrap your head around that. 50 G's a month in child support. No, no. I'm leaving the country. I'm leaving the country. Yeah, with Rick Fox and his friends. He was paying Khalees 50,000 for child support. Nah, bro, it don't go down like that. Nah. You know what I do? If I ever came into money like that, I'd never get married. Never. Never. Yeah, she was getting that Illmatic money. They had to stop her. They had to stop her. Yeah, they had to stop her. Hey, what's going on, Tammy? Shoot, Deion Sanders' wife tried to get him for millions of dollars and his mansion. He kicked her out the crib. She tried to get the kids too, and the kids was like, "Nah, we're staying with dad." Deion Sanders was like, "Somebody come and get this crazy woman out my crib." This was the mother of his children. He was like, "Get her out my house." They came and got her out the house. She tried to take the kids. He was like, "No, you're not taking my sons." And they stayed right there with their father. Yeah, 50,000 a month. This is what Khalees was getting paid from Nas until they stopped it. Go Raptors! I hear you, man. Not tonight though. Tell what you have no problem finding a partner for life. Tone, what do you mean? Get married to a woman? Absolutely. Uh, at one time, I would. If I find a chick that I trust, if I found a down, I'm gonna tell you something. I was in Walmart. You see a lot of crazy stuff in Walmart. I was in Walmart about 2 weeks ago, right? And when I was in there, I walked past this lady. Yeah, 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 trust, big time. And I walked past this woman. I don't pay people that much, mind too much. But if somebody is staring me down, I notice. Like this woman was walking towards me, and her, two little ones. And yeah, but women of the Lord, man, they be tricking off too. But anyway, so she walked past me, and while she was walking towards me, you catch people's eye because I like to say hello. But she looked at me, and then she kept looking at me. But she didn't crack her smile or like she was going to say hello or nothing. She was just looking at me like I owed her money. But she was looking at me like I owed her money, but I was like, nah, I know what that look is. And I was just like, man, I don't know this woman like I ain't. You know what I'm saying? But I know this look. So I'm done shopping. I'm leaving, and she's in the aisle, right? like she's paying for her stuff, and she sees me again. I just happen to turn my head, and she's staring right at me again, and I'm like, I know what that look is all about. And the answer is absolutely not, lady. No, because I know what that is. Last time I fell for that look, I had a I had a kid. No, I'm not doing that. But nonetheless, you want somebody who wants you from jump like that. I just wasn't interested in her. But you want somebody who's looking at you like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I wasn't interested in her. Uh, but nonetheless, she was trying to put her Mac down without saying any words, and I got the point real quick. I'm like, oh, okay, you trying to you know, yeah, she was a little chocolate drop, dark skinned sister, and I like dark skinned women, but it just the whole vibe just. I mean, it didn't make me want to comply. It made me want to dip. So I kept rolling. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, there's something about this whole vibe that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? I don't like your vibe. I just, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, I'm straight. What kind of, one more time, Miguel, and I'm gonna get rid of you, dog. You starting to piss me off. Yeah, listen. Don't come. Don't listen, man. Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you one more time, bro. I'm gonna tell you, like you starting to get on my nerves with the funny stuff, bro. You know, I'm not with the funny stuff, bro. I'm not with the funny stuff. Take that goofy stuff somewhere else. I'm not with the funny stuff. What's wrong with you, man? Anyways, yeah, but I kept walking. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing fine, Tammy. How are you? She was thirsty. You know what? I don't even think she was thirsty because I've had women look at me like that in the past, and I ended up dating a couple of them, and it was cool. I knew what they wanted, but my whole mind is different now. I'm not really in that zone of tracking down some chick or going after every chick who looks at me like a snack. I don't. I'm not really into that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but she was like, okay, like, there's another woman who I actually talked to her years ago, but I had a woman back then who was dating someone back then. But the girl I was dating was a goofy chick. And one day we walked into, we was in a supermarket clothing store, and this girl was cute. She was cuter than my girl. But the thing about me is, if I'm with someone, like I'm with them. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm with someone, they're benefiting me in some kind of way. Like there's a like it's not something I can just let go. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like they're like that person has something that I need. It's not something that I want. If I'm with somebody, she has something I need. You know what I'm saying? She's the ace in the pocket. There's something about her that I need. And the girl I was with at that point was I needed her. You know what I'm saying? I needed her for position. Uh, I needed her to because she was a good listener. She was goofy, but she was Johnny on the spot when I needed something. And I don't usually come at my girl on the knee. Like I'm not that dude. I don't lean on my chick. But if I'm with a chick, she knows that I'm going to call on her for something one of these days I'm going to need you. I'm gonna be in a bind, something, and I don't need you. I don't need you to hem and haw. I don't need you to ask me questions. I need you to get off your ass and do exactly what I say and do it right now in the middle of the night. Wake your ass up. Let's go. It's going down right now, and that's what that chick was. But this other chick that saw me, she came at me right in front of her, and I was like, yeah, you hella cute, but I need this woman. You don't even understand the relationship here. This is yeah. She was a ride or die, and I could have because she liked to flirt with other dudes too. It used to get on my nerves, but I could have rode with old girl. You know what I'm saying? And after me and my ride or die, we broke up. She went on about her way. But nonetheless, it there was a time that came down to it where I needed her, and she was like, she came through in the biggest way, the biggest way. And I knew she was like that. That's why I was hanging on to her. And she came through for me. I was just like, yeah, I knew you was gonna come through for me. But nonetheless, this other chick, years would go by, she would see me, and she was still on me. I saw her 2 years ago. I was in class, and she walked past the classroom and looked at me, and then turned back around and then stood there and looked at me, and I'm sitting in class looking at her like, yeah, I know you. I know what you want. And then she just, she peeled out. I was like, I know you. That girl has been on me for years. I can't even tell you her name. We had a couple phone conversations years ago, and that was that. But she has been digging me for years. I don't know where she's at. I don't know her name. But every time she sees me, she gives me that look like, what's cracking? And my result is always the same. I keep walking. You know what I'm saying? But she was bold to come at me in front of my girl. I was like, wow, you don't know if this chick is gonna throw hands on you or nothing. You don't really know. But she didn't care. She saw what she wanted, and that was it, and that's all. She came after what she wanted. But I needed my girl, man. I couldn't risk it. I could not risk it. That goofy chick was my man. I needed her. I needed her to be what she was, goofy. But when I said move, her goofy behind moved just like that. And I didn't ask for too much, but she was a dang good listener. I mean, when we would go out, I wouldn't even order my food. Most of the time, I wouldn't even drive. I wouldn't even drive. She'd pull up in a nice car. I'd just get in it. You know what I'm saying? I'd go to sleep. I go to sleep. Wake me up when we get to the spot. You know what I'm saying? But I never took it for granted. And eventually, things just didn't work out, and she moved on. Had a kid with someone else, and that was cool. But she came through for the time that I needed her. So a lot of times when I date someone, I use a lot of foresight, especially on what they're saying. I can tell by the way they talk and if I'm going to get into it with them or not. What I mean get into it with them is if I'm going to, you know, ball and chain them, if I'm going to hang on to them, you know what I'm saying? I might be just social with somebody and I'm cool with that because I don't need to be too deep with. I live by myself. I stay by myself a lot, and I'm okay with that. I wake up by myself. I go to bed by myself. There is no noise in my house. I'm okay with that. So for me to get into it with somebody, she got to be reliable and a damn good listener. And when I need her, she needs to move now and don't ever lie to me. But I was in my 30s then, and the way I looked at women then was for position. Wasn't so much for like wasn't for anything else really. It was position. Can I get this done with you? Can I, you know what I'm saying? I need to do this. Can you help me get this done? And you run into a lot of chicks who wasn't really about that. I said the goofy chick was my rock, man. I'm gonna tell you what. I was homeless. I was homeless when I listen. When I met that goofy chick, I met her in the store, right? Ran up on her, how you doing, whatever. I was just clowning around with her, really wasn't serious. We exchanged numbers, whatever, got to talking. In our first conversation, we stayed on the phone for hours, just talking, right? And I was like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? What had happened to me was I was living in somebody's basement. I was living in somebody's basement, working temporary jobs. Then my car broke down. I think it caught on fire or something like that. Car broke down, so I couldn't get out to this job that I was, what I'm saying? It was way up north in office. I couldn't keep going out there because my car broke down. Once my car broke down, there went my money, right? So I was like, I couldn't get any more money. I end up uh, moving into a dorm room down on the college because I really ain't had nowhere to go. I lived in the dorm room, um, and once I couldn't pay them anymore, plus they raised the rent to some ridiculous price. I was pretty much looking for a place to stay, and old girl was like, "You can come stay at my house." I was like, "All right, cool." I really don't like staying at women's house because it's their house. When they get tired of you, they kick you out. And when they kick you out, you what? You homeless again. So I don't do that no more. But nonetheless, and I've had that happen to me a couple times. I'm like, nah, y'all never gonna get a chance to do me like that again. Nonetheless, she was like, you can come stay with me. So I stayed with her. But like I said, she like flirting with dudes, and then eventually it got on my nerves, and I was like, I can't stay here anymore. You tripping? So what I did was I moved across the hall from her. And back then, like I said, I was 30, 31 or whatever. And I was like, I'm good looking at you. I'm athletic. What's wrong with you? So, she kept flirting with dudes, and I kept telling her, you better cut that out. And then one time she did it, and me and her was at the club. When we was in the club, this dude, was standing beside her. And when I turned around, she was all in his face, and I went off. I lost it. I went off, man. And my friend, my homeboy at the time, had to hold me back, and I even got out of his grip. And he's bigger than me. I was livid. I was livid. So I couldn't keep doing that. Then I found out she was sleeping with somebody she worked with and all this other stuff. And eventually I just, I had to let it go. I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to argue. I had to let that go. Uh, but during during the time that we were together, she was good for position. She was there when I needed something. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what it was. And like I said, she helped me. She held me down when I ain't had to have a crib until I was able to get a crib. And when I got my own crib, she started to act right because she saw women. You know what I'm saying? She saw women start coming at me, and I worked in office jobs. And when you work for the state or the county, I worked for the House of Representatives. You know what I'm saying? I was at her house when I got the call. They was like, hey, we want you to come work for the House of Representatives. What do you think I looked like when I was working for the House of Representatives? I had a low cut, almost bald head. I was tapered up every day. There was none of this. I was clean. I wore suits every day, shoes clean. Boy, I was an iron and fool every day. I was going in 3 pieces. I was clean. Even they was talking about, you clean, aren't you? I was serious. Look, I started off as a temp, and they kept calling me back. They eventually hired me because I was serious. I was clean every day. I walked in there looking like one of the representatives every day. You think chicks wasn't on me? You crazy? It was on me left and right. And when she saw that, she was just like, oh. But she had scarred me so much that it was kind of too late for that. You know what I'm saying? There was, she was like, let's get married. I was like, nah, because I know you're going to cheat on me and I'm going to hurt you. And I don't want to be that dude. I'm not a fighter. I don't want to fight with my woman. But eventually she started seeing women, coming at me, pulling up to the crib. You know what I'm saying? I was like, shoot, I'm about to bounce an old girl, You wanted to be a cheater, knock yourself out. So That was just that. But for a couple years, she was my rock, and I wanted to marry her because I trusted her with everything, everything, security codes, whatever, answer my phone, whatever, bank account. I didn't care. I trusted her, but she was a cheater, and that just soured me. That just soured me. I couldn't get over it, so I started, messing around with other chicks. When she started seeing that, she was just like, "Damn." I was like, "Oh, yeah, there's nothing else I could tell you." Yeah, you too. I'm just kind of telling you guys, about me and why I live in such solitude. I don't really. 'Cause a lot of you guys are like, "Why aren't you out there doing whatever? Why ain't you got a girl?" I don't really. The way I look at it is, if it happens, it happens. It's not something that I try to. It's just if it happens, it happens. It's not something I try to perpetuate. That's why I look at relationships now. If it happens and it's good, and it's good. Yeah, man. Don't say nothing. Don't say no other, crazy faggy stuff towards me, man. Don't ask me those goofy questions. None of that. I'm not trying to hear none of that. I don't even care about the money. Don't do that. I'm straight, and that's that. I don't play none of that. None of that abomination, homosexuality. I don't play none of that. That stuff is an abomination before the Lord, and it's creepy as hell. I don't mess around. I don't. I tolerate people who do that, but that's their business. Yeah, yeah. I think you did. No, I think you did. I think you trying to because I told you about this before, and for some reason, like I think you are one of those dudes. And you trying to, I don't know what you trying to do here, but I know some gay dudes, and say stuff like stuff to me, and I'll be like, "Nah, I'm good," and then they'll say something else, and then I'll be wanting to punch them in the face, like, "Yo, I told you I'm good." Like, I mean, that's cool if that's what you do, then that's fine. But don't come over here with that, man. It just pisses me off. Like I had a friend in the army. He liked to drink. He was like, Come on, take a drink." I was like, "Nah." He was like, "Take a drink," and I squared up on him. I was like, once he saw my face change, he was like, "All right, I'm sorry." I'm like, "I told you no, and I told you before. Don't come at me with none of that garbage. That stuff is an abomination to the Lord. I tolerate it. That's what you want to do. You take that somewhere else. Don't come over here with that no more." I don't like being angry, but you starting to make me angry with that. I'm trying to be cool, but anyways, I like women. Just because I don't have one doesn't mean I don't like them.